the reason we decided to podcast tonight is because we just got in an argument outside about fucking climate change.
Not necessarily
and the
an argument,
crux of the conversation, where I don't think that you think we're animals, is you always argue about enlightenment and progression, and I always argue for regression.
We are really smart apes. So
I know, but I always am arguing for regression.
But there's no reason to regress when we are so smart that we can figure out a better way.
But that means in some way or another, you do think that we are a higher species. We are a higher...
Oh, yeah.
We are not just a filthy fucking animal.
We are definitely better than turtles.
And that's my point, is I think that we think that, and we're so lost in our own shit. We're high and mighty on our own shit.
Are you really suggesting that you and a turtle are the same thing?
I don't fucking... I've never been in a turtle's mind. Okay, have you ever been in a turtle's mind?
Just list the achievements of the turtle.
I don't fucking know. It's like that thing.
Well, I can tell you, they've never built skyscrapers.
Or how about this?
Turtles aren't engineers.
Let me propose this. Number one, a beaver has built a dam, which is just as good as a fucking skyscraper. A skyscraper is a dam for humans.
No. A dam is a dam for humans. See, that's you choosing
to fucking... be arrogant.
No. There is a totally different scale of things you have to achieve. Okay, let's think about this.
If you are an ant, the size of an ant...
A dam is a dam is a dam. If you have to hold water back, there's a certain
but if you're the size of an ant...
Things you need to know.
And you have built... I've seen some of these ant hills that are this, in their world, fucking pyramids. In their world. The size of an ant hill is a pyramid. Now, to us... We have fucking skyscrapers, but if you put it on a scale, it's probably about the same size.
Okay, I mean, I can agree with that. I'm not arguing that animals don't achieve certain things, but what I'm saying is, when was the last beaver podcast you listened to? Surely you recognize the uniqueness of Homo sapiens doing what Homo sapiens do. Surely you just boil it all down to basic animal stuff. We make clothes. We make things. We create and we build and we.
But that's where I think
do things that no other animal has done.
Two things that I think. One, we don't know that no other animal has.
Okay, what other animal has created robots?
We don't know because we don't have the full spectrum.
Like RF technology.
That's my point. Is we don't have the full spectrum of history. Okay, so my point is that we are not. There are things, i.e., as an ancient aliens watcher.
Dolphins you should know. Used to have podcasts, is what you're suggesting.
Well, I mean, isn't that the premise?
I can't say they haven't.
The premise of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is that the dolphins achieved beyond what we achieved. Then they realized it was bullshit.
No.
So then they jumped back in the water and said, "Fuck this shit."
No, dolphins are aliens that inhabited the Earth until humans destroyed it, and then they left. They flew back to space to their home planet.
Well, then I've got my own version of that, which is you talking about the turtle. For all I know, the turtle evolved well beyond us. The turtle had, maybe the turtle built the fucking pyramids. Then he then did what I did, where there was a turtle that came along and said, "Hey guys, this shit, what are we doing? We're killing ourselves." Remember how enjoyable it was when all we did was walk in the sand? Remember how nice that was? Let's go back to those days. And then they fucking regressed. Which is my argument for regression.
I think regression only comes under turmoil. So if there's a world war, we regress. If there's a well,
that's not even entirely accurate.
No.
World War II led to some of the biggest technological innovations.
Bad example, but it's leading me so. If there was a total blackout from a supervolcano, we would regress. If there's a huge natural disaster that forces us out of the system we are in, that's regression. But currently, we don't have that, so why not just solve the problems and move forward?
Well, we are going to, because that is what happens. The argument for regression is one of choice. The argument for progression is one of evolution. So, like, for example, you're arguing for progress. Well, you don't have to argue for progress. Progress is going to happen. Like, no matter what, it is going to happen. Progress will happen. Why? Because that's what we do. That's what what we do as people, what animals do. Evolution is progress. Progress happens.
Well, no.
So it's just like when you say...
Evolution is not progress. Evolution is adapting to your environment. Progress as a human being is forcing like technology forcing.
Is it
growth.
not done for the same reason though? Which
No,
is, i.e., survivability.
One of them is like one of them is evolution. You know, the strongest will survive. The one that can open the new fruit will eat, and the others will starve. Whereas what we're talking about in humans is the newest idea will be accepted by the population and assimilated.
But even then, it's like
and pushed forward.
Even and then, it has to have a.
It's not an evolutionary thing.
No, but even then,
it's
that
a
idea.
technological thing.
No, but even
it's
then,
growth.
I would argue because of capitalism and because of technological innovation that even then, that idea, i.e., Blu-ray versus HD DVD,
Yeah,
one survives over the other because it is survival
but
of the
that's
fittest.
not evolution by definition.
I mean, Blu-ray survival of the fittest. Blu-ray survived because it was a better product than HD DVD.
well, better marketing, better. You
It's
know,
a better product.
They had not necessarily. Like HD TV has specs.
I mean, you sound like somebody that's arguing for Laserdisc now.
No.
I mean, clearly there was something about Blu-ray
No,
that
okay.
made it a better
But
product for the consumer.
Laserdisc versus VHS, if you want to put it in that scale, Laserdisc had a lot of benefits, but affordability,
Which would make it the fittest.
no. But like the same thing, HD DVD, they were the same size disc. One of the formats,
So, like, you could argue,
was
like...
no. One of the formats was accepted, in my idea, primarily because Sony released the PlayStation with Blu-ray versus HD DVD. So
But again,
there was
accessibility
exactly
made
accessibility
it more
versus
fit for the population.
but it wasn't a better product.
No. So, like...
It wasn't it
but,
wasn't
like, look
in
at-
evolutionary terms something that made it survive better.
It was more
It was
fit.
a corporate adaptation
No.
that sold it to the populace.
It was more fit for the situation. It was more
Man.
fit. And that's my... like, would you argue, like, a Velociraptor had to be one of the greatest apex predators ever?
No.
Tyrannosaurus Rex
No.
was an amazing
I don't
predator.
think you know what a velociraptor was.
I don't fucking know any of this shit.
You're thinking
I'm
Jurassic Park
saying-
shit. In real life, velociraptors were large chickens.
I don't know any of this shit. My
They
argument
were
is...
very tiny fucking dinosaurs.
My main argument is like there were dinosaurs that were probably the most,
You know-
like fucking no, like
T-Rex?
let's talk about the fucking rat.
Well, hold on. T-Rex. You know, like, the current studies of what T-Rex is in his
Physiological.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
physiological build. The average human could outrun a T-Rex. He's not a threat to anybody.
That's fine. I guarantee
unless
you there was-
He literally eats you while you're sleeping.
I guarantee you there was an amazing apex predator dinosaur that was
yeah.
just as
Well,
fit
dinosaurs are
as
scary
any
as shit.
other apex predator we have today, like even a great white shark.
Oh no, probably.
So
I would assume better, because like a tiger is scary as shit.
So
As an apex predator, a tiger will eat your fucking face.
my point is, just because something is better on a scale of like 1 to 10 better doesn't mean that it's more fit to survive.
It is for its environment and the time frame that it lives.
And that's my argument for Blu-ray.
But
that it is for the time frame and the environment in which it exists.
No, HD would probably have been better.
Because of accessibility.
But for the specs, for what it was, the reason it died was because Sony bought into Blu-ray.
Was accessibility. And
But-
accessibility is
but if we're
part
talking
of
about
the fit
if
option.
we're talking about no, we're not, because you just said environment and
Conditioning.
Conditions.
Conditions. Yeah.
so in both those realms, I think HD DVD.
No, because in the world of conditions,
No, conditions, not availability. Now
accessibility would be a condition.
No, it was a better format that could hold more storage. It was a better thing to create and deliver what you were looking for, like movies or whatever system you were trying to.
I guess my
display.
point is
the reason HD died is because it wasn't available for the price that consumers were wanting.
and that is a condition.
That's not evolution, though.
No, it's my point is not. I'm saying survival of the fittest works in both evolution and technology. Survival of the fittest. It's a concept
Again,
that works
it's not.
in both.
It's not survival of the fittest. It's price points. It's an arbitrary. No, but it's an arbitrary thing, because really, what we're talking about, the product costs.
It's not arbitrary.
No, it is.
There's a
because
very
it
good
cost
reason-
a penny to create, but this executive decided to charge this much and release it, versus this marketing plan and this executive charged this much to release it.
Yeah, but
so everybody accepted that the technology is superior versus the other, but because of marketing.
But that's my point. That's why
why
it's survival of the fittest. It's not survival of the superior.
Well, now we're getting down into the deep depths of.
I'm not getting into the deep depths. I'm talking about survival of the fittest.
So the technology itself, data capacity, and
has nothing to do with that.
No, that's survival of the fittest.
No, it's not.
The technology is better one way or the other.
No, that's not survival of the fittest.
So we're talking about marketing plans and executive price points.
I'm talking about price points is in the world of capitalism and economics. That is the same as in this thing has a neck that's that long and can eat that leaf.
But we've moved from technology. We're not talking about the technology. Now we're talking about marketing plans. And
no, but my point is
so it's no longer about HD DVD versus Blu Ray.
What we're really talking about,
it's about Steve Jobs or Microsoft and their marketing campaigns to sell you a product that you feel like you connect to.
Incorrect.
Versus the technology that works better.
Incorrect. Because it wasn't the marketing plan that separated HD DVD and Blu Ray. Not at all.
It was the acceptance by Sony.
Accessibility. It was that more people could access Blu Ray.
They sold Sony on the product. If Sony didn't develop it on their own, I'm not an expert in the HD versus Blu Ray history. All I'm saying is
it wasn't marketing; it was accessibility.
Because
accessibility is a huge condition.
Because of a price point.
No,
yes.
Because Sony came up with the Blu Ray,
and
that was a Sony product,
and they could sell it cheaper than selling HD.
No, they couldn't sell it cheaper. They could put essentially a Blu Ray player in every. They already had PlayStations, right? They owned PlayStation, so they could essentially put. And that we are way off base, but we'll go down this wormhole for a second. If I understand it correctly, Sony created the Blu Ray. That was their product. And they owned PlayStation. So they made the decision, we're just going to make every PlayStation a Blu Ray player. HD DVD, I don't know who created that.
Xbox had it.
No, I don't know which company came up with the HD DVD format.
Microsoft had it for the Xbox.
Okay.
So if we're talking in the realm of gaming systems and we're keeping it as solely as the primary factor, let's keep this simple. Like eliminate variables.
But you can't eliminate variables.
Then I can't
survival of the fittest.
I can't talk to you then.
But you can't eliminate.
Science is based on eliminating variables, understanding individual variables, and then bringing it all together.
Well,
so if you want to talk about the whole story at one time without examining one side of it, then I can't talk to you.
But that's insane to say because, for example, a variable on island, if you want to talk about survival of the fittest, this island, the leaves were higher. This island, the leaves were lower. Hence, it's the same exact turtle.
But you never.
This one has a short neck. This one has a long neck.
That's fine, but you never study it as a whole.
That's how Darwin discovered it.
No, you study it as
both islands.
No, you study it as this. You study it this.
Incorrect.
And then you take that data and compare them and figure out a solution to the argument that is proposed.
You're 100% incorrect.
You don't. Okay. So you're telling me we look at the whole solar system and don't consider individual planets? We just look at the whole thing and go like, best guess.
What I'm saying is not best guess. What I'm saying is
Darwin
had to look at both islands and study both islands.
You eliminate variables.
The variables is what led to the difference.
You eliminate variables until you can define what each variable does on its own.
Hence, you have to look at the variables.
I didn't say don't look at the variables.
You said eliminate them.
I said eliminate variables down to each segmented piece. You look at variable A and you study variable A until you understand variable A. And then you look at variable B and study variable B until you understand it. Then you look at variable A versus variable B and figure out how they interact together. And you come up with an ultimate conclusion.
Don't stop talking
as to how the whole thing. Well, phone a friend. But that's the way science works. You have to eliminate variables until you can identify each individual one as a control. You have a control, and then you can compare it against other things. So you never look at it as like the whole picture. You take wind out of it and you look at gravity. Well, when you add in air density factors, that changes gravity's effects on falling objects. So that's one variable versus another variable. And when you put them together, we understand how things fall.
My point is science and nature essentially operate within the same realms. Progress operates and technology operates within the same realms and the same rules. It's all the same rules.
Well, it's all physics. The shit works
no, it's
one
all,
way or the other.
No. It's all survival of the fittest. It's all survival of the fittest.
Well, that's an evolutionary growth thing.
But that's what my point is with technology. All I was trying to say was with technology, there is kind of in a way the same rules that apply to evolution apply to technology, which is whatever's the most fit is what survives.
In general, yes.
That's all I was trying to say.
Well, you took me down a road that you said science doesn't work one way or the other, and I had to spell out that you study one variable.
Well, I think you
versus the
just
other.
weren't like. I think in a way you weren't exactly listening to me.
Well, no, I heard every word you said, but the idea you were trying to communicate didn't enter my head.
All right, you'll acknowledge that while they're separate, they operate within the same kind of idea.
In a general idea, yes.
The most fit will survive in technology, as in the most fit will survive.
I don't
in nature.
I don't think the most fit survives in some of these technologies that we're using as examples.
You don't think the best survives.
That would be the most fit.
That's incorrect. This is our difference. The most fit has nothing to do with the best.
No, the best is the most fit.
Incorrect.
Now, when we're talking about technology, it doesn't work the same way a lizard does. The best thing about a lizard survives, and that's how it makes more of itself.
No, incorrect. Because
So you're telling me the three-legged lizard, even though it's not the best lizard, will survive.
Well, so like, let's look at this. There's nothing best about being blind, right? It's not.
Well, no.
Blindness, missing a sense is not like the best ever.
No,
the best
it is.
animal
No, it can
is not
be.
going to be blind.
It can be, depending on the environment.
Incorrect. The best animal would
You're
have.
telling me animals that live in the deep, deep sea, blackness, or in dark, dark caves,
if you were to design,
don't do better by growing senses that don't rely on light.
No, wait. I would say, like, if I was going to design,
So
like
blindness
wait,
is a
listen.
favor for like a blind mole rat
Do you want to hear? Or do you not?
because their other senses.
do you want to hear my answer? Or no?
Well, I'm just saying.
Okay,
You asked me
I
if
will-
blindness is always a
No,
better option.
I said-
Sometimes it is.
No, it's not. Now it's a more survival. It's a more fit option. But if I were to design on
For the environment of the animal.
correct, so if I were to say, for example, if I were on paper to design like a superhuman, like superhero animal thing, I would go, I want it to have the hearing of a bat, and I want it to have the vision of a what's something with a very long side, a hawk, and then I'd say I want it to have the speed of a cheetah, because you're combining all the best elements of all the best
All the
animals.
best
if you're
things
designing a superhero.
To your definition of the best.
No, I'm
It
saying
may
all
not be the
best.
best survival
Correct.
for Antarctica.
For the condition and the environment in
So
which it's in.
sometimes being blind is better.
Incorrect.
Well, no,
Blind
no.
is never better.
So why are you going to spend energy developing eyes and rods and cones when there is no light in your environment?
So
So why is it better to develop that sense?
it's not.
Exactly.
They lose that sense.
So
no, wait. Hold
sometimes
on a
it's
minute.
better to be
Hold on a
blind.
minute. I feel like I just got trapped.
I
What
do.
I'm saying
I
is-
do want to say. I want to stop you. I do want to say that I'm reading through an article right now, and I'm going to go ahead and redact my statement that HD DVD may have been better. Right off the bat here, I'm seeing that Blu Ray capacity is 50 gigabytes. HD DVD's capacity is only 30. So instantly, that's a fuck HD format. The capacity
But that has
of
nothing
Blu-ray.
to do why it survived.
No, that has something to do with it.
I disagree.
I guarantee
It's
you.
accessibility.
No, I guarantee you that having a better capacity per disc.
No one's
is
looking at that or thinking about that.
Okay,
The average
do
consumer
you
is
not? Do you not think when you? Okay, we were kids of the '90s. I'm sure you watched movies that were 2 VHS tapes.
A ton of them. I remember Braveheart.
So you don't think having the capacity to hold one film on one disc versus 7 discs is better?
Yeah, but even when Blu-ray first came out, they still did a weird 2-disc thing.
Doesn't matter. The capacity
It's
exists.
not the reason it survived.
It is a factor.
Disagree.
Okay, it's not a factor at all.
It's not. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you what I think. You don't have to get mad at me.
I'm not mad at
I'm
you.
just telling you what I think.
I'm just telling you that better specs mean things. And you're saying, no, fuck the better specs.
It only means things.
I'm trying to agree with you and say that HD is not better. And you're like, no, fuck the specs. Fuck what you just said.
Because my argument never had to do with the better technology. My argument was about the most fit.
I'm pretty sure if we rewind this, you said it was a better technology before.
What I'm telling you is I was saying the most fit technology for the time. And that's why I said, like, what you're saying is, like, for example, I was thinking about it, the little thing that lives in caves and has no
nuke
sight
in a
or
cave.
no...
Yeah, it's blind and it smells like a fucking race hound.
That thing literally has given up almost every other functionality except for one sense and honed the fuck out of that sense.
Because they were not necessary.
And that is different than being the best.
No, it's doing the best thing it can do for its environment. So it lives in this realm.
That's my argument.
You just rolled into, you spun it into the same thing I'm fucking saying.
No.
You said there's
You're now making an environmental and conditional argument.
There's no reason for any animal to be blind, was your initial statement. And I said, yeah.
No.
Because some animals live in places.
Getting tripped up. There's no reason. There's no way you could be the best animal and have eyesight.
You're right and I'm wrong.
No, I'm saying there's no way the best animal could have eyesight. You're talking about the best on specs. If you were to look at specs.
It's all environmental. If you throw a fucking cheetah into the goddamn ocean, it's not going to beat a great white.
And that's 100%
But they're developed for their environments. So the best thing in this environment may be blind. But your original statement was, no animal can be blind and be the best.
If you remove, now say, the best animal is this.
I'm not going to let you spin this.
It's not a spin.
No,
you have to say now.
The best animal can't be blind.
Correct.
And I said it can be. For its environment.
The best animal ever, the best animal ever in the history of the world ever, the best animal would have all the best things. If you were to look on a spec sheet,
if you could find a fucking flying eagle that could breathe water and fucking survive off of sunlight like a goddamn plant, yes, obviously that would be the best in quotations.
Correct.
But that's
on a spec sheet.
That's not any sense of real.
Correct.
That's goddamn Napoleon Dynamite drawing a goddamn dinosaur with a unicorn.
Because why?
It's all fantasy.
Because why? Because
it's
of environment and condition.
Spin.
That's not spin.
I feel like this is the goddamn O'Reilly factor.
What
the fuck are we doing?
I just fucking made my...
Bill
Bill
O'Reilly. I'm not going to be on your program if you just will not accept facts.
I just made a great fucking... You see how I just made the great point.
No, you didn't make a great point. You circular logic to wrap around back to exactly what I was saying and turn it against me.
No. I've always been arguing for environment and condition. And at first you were saying that has nothing to do with anything. And now you're acknowledging that is it.
That's not...
That's everything.
That's not what I was saying. Environment condition was nothing. We were talking about technology. Better technology always prevails. And
no,
I gave you the example of... and I redacted my statement that HD was better. I redacted that. No, that's not true. Blu Ray was better. But it wasn't because of the adaptation. It wasn't because of Sony. It was because it was a better technology.
Better technology always prevails based on environment and condition. Will you acknowledge that? Better technology always prevails based on environment and condition.
I don't know. Hold on.
I mean, for example,
I'm trying to think of a situation where the better technology would lose to a
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc was a better technology than
lost to VHS because of environment and condition.
Okay.
That's all I've been trying to say the whole time, dude.
Then what the fuck? That's exactly what I stated earlier, and you told me no.
No.
Okay, rewind this. I stated Laserdisc lost to VHS, and you were like, no.
No, I did say it did, but I said it was because VHS was the most fit.
No.
And my argument for fitness has nothing to do with better.
I don't know.
It's based on environment and condition.
I'm going to go ahead and preamble this whole goddamn conversation with that I'm drunk and I can't fucking remember what the fuck I'm talking about. But my argument, I believe that has held steady through this whole argument, is that the best technology, the best survivor, the thing that is able to adapt and change towards the growth of its environment will win. So if you're a blind newt in a cave, but you can fucking read body hint, like if you have infrared, you can read body heat, you will be a apex predator in that environment. If again, like not Blu-ray, let's go VHS versus Betamax. Betamax
was the better product.
And it lost to VHS.
Yes, because of environment and condition.
No, because of capacity. I believe, if I'm not confusing facts, I believe like Betamax had a better resolution, but you would have had to put a single movie. Like the record time on Betamax was only like 30 minutes.
Because you could lose quality, and you could put it on EP mode and VHS and record 8 hours of television on one VHS.
Okay, no, now you're getting technical. I'm talking like pure standard. Betamax did 30 minutes. VHS did an hour, you know? So you could fit a standard length film on one format versus the other. And
but
so
you had to give up quality.
But Betamax was a better product overall.
Correct.
Okay.
And it lost.
It lost.
Because of environment and condition.
Because of porn.
And
porn made that decision. Porn decided on VHS, and that's like literally you can look up. That's the one.
So should we look up and see if porn was on Blu-ray first?
I bet it was.
I mean, that was they could predicate.
That'll solve this whole argument.
I mean, we've been looking for a way to get out of this the whole time.
Was porn on Blu-ray
first
or HD DVD first?
And if it was Blu-ray, that answers all our questions.
Okay, so this is from Macworld. Porn may be the decider in Blu-ray versus HD DVD. So, just as in the 80s, so it's valid.
Beta versus VHS.
When Betamax and VHS formats were battling for supremacy, the pornography industry decided on VHS, thereby
killing Betamax.
Yeah, destroying Betamax. So, let me scan through this real fast. When you look at VHS, Beta, where's the Blu-ray stuff? Pornography is 57 billion a year. I don't give a shit. Blu-ray, optimal disc formats, positioning Blu-ray is not only backed by Sony and Panasonic. So yeah, Sony, the big players, LG, Philips, and Disney all signed up with Blu-ray, and Fox. 50 gigabytes, 50 gigabytes of storage, 9 hours of high definition content, HD DVD, 30 gigabytes capacity, supported by Toshiba, NEC, and Warner. Warner was on the wrong side of this fucking argument.
They took HD?
Yeah. Pornography. So porn supported DVD heavily.
So they fought both of them.
Talk for a second, dude.
I'm listening. I'm so fascinated by this.
Run your mouth for a minute, because I got to do a little bit of reading to find the actual.
He's gonna fucking. I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. I don't know how that whole argument sounded. I'm sure it was exhausting to listen to. I am fucking exhausted from arguing with this motherfucker.
I'll continue. I'm not done.
I'm fucking tired.
I'll do this for another 3 hours.
I am fucking exhausted. Because it's like, I feel like I would say things, and you were saying I was having circular talk. I feel like you kept changing your statement every 5 seconds, and I couldn't keep up with it.
I changed my statement to your points, but your points eventually landed at my original statement.
I feel exactly the opposite.
So we started at A, and then we went to B, C, D, 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 E, F, G, and you landed back at A by the end of the argument. So you ended up agreeing with my initial statement.
That's not what I think happened.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Well, listen back. I think this is why drunk people shouldn't talk to each other, because this is fucking what happens.